What it do, baby? Welcome back to another edition of Hi Chicago. Thank you guys for tuning in, whether it's via YouTube or on audio only with your favorite podcast platform. As usual, I'm your boy Sean, the CEO around here in these streets. And if you're not watching, today I'm joined by the big homie Aaron, right? My other two colleagues, JV. So JV's out this week. He has a lingering hemorrhoid issue that he's trying to get taken care of. So JV, get well soon.
You want to just put him out there?
Bro, it is what it is. We're transparent and raw on the show. And then Mary Claire is in the lower third ward of Houston right now, trying to figure out how she's going to pay rent. Mary Claire,
it is.
Good luck with that. I'm not going to judge you in 2021. You pay your rent by any means necessary. But I just want to dive into the show with my boy Aaron. So first of all, I like your background.
Thank you, sir.
That's a little homage to Black History Month, which we're in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of want to start there. Black History Month, right? So I just want to speak on some facts. So let's start with in 1926, Carter G. Woodson conceived the concept of Negro History Week by creating the organization known as the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History. It was created because he saw how Black people were underrepresented in the stories of American history.
Right.
Makes sense. So they decided to celebrate that in the second week of February because that's when Abe Lincoln and Frederick Douglass celebrated their birthdays. Again, makes sense. Cool. So decades later, after colleges began discussing Black culture for the entire month of February, President Gerald Ford made Black History Month a national holiday in 1976. Dope. And it's been recognized, bro, around several countries, just not in the United States of America.
Right.
Which naturally, Black people are everywhere. I get that. So now we go from 1976, fast forward to 2021. And that brings me to a man named Austin Chenge. I actually don't even know if I pronounced his last name right, but I'll be transparent. I don't give a fuck.
It don't matter.
Right. But Austin, if you're listening and you want to correct me in the comment section, please feel free, my guy. Who is Austin Chenge? He is a Black Republican candidate running for governor in the state of Michigan who has vowed to abolish Black History Month in the state if he's elected.
He won't get elected.
And first of all, why are you making that like your powerful statement before you're elected, right? So in his mind, bro, it's Black History Month is unfair, it's illegal, and it's offensive. So let's start with his initial premise of it being unfair, right? So, okay, there's no Jewish History Month. There's no...
Actually... I'm gonna be honest with you. So
what's up?
I decided to do my own research when I read this article that you sent me, man.
Educate me.
And I was like, okay, so he's mad because Blacks are getting basically acknowledged during a 28, sometimes 29-day span. And so I decided to see, well, what other heritages or backgrounds have their own months.
Okay.
There's American Indian Heritage Month.
Okay.
It should be called Native American. None of my business. I didn't create the name. It is what it is. Which is celebrated in November. It just doesn't get talked about.
Is that a problem?
That might be a problem, and that might be why the GOP, if they don't have anything else, they have the fucking audacity, but they never are educated when it comes to any of their points. Never educated. There's American Indian Heritage Month. There's Asian Pacific Heritage Month. There's Irish American Heritage Month.
Oh, there is.
You didn't know that.
Is that March?
It's March. It makes sense, right? But then there's Jewish American Heritage Month in May. There's the LGBT month. It's in June. You know about that one. But you also know about National Hispanic Heritage Month, which actually takes place between 2 months.
So are you saying that he should cancel all these things for Michigan?
I'm definitely not saying that, but I'm saying if you have an issue with that month, why don't you have an issue with any of the other months? He's basically going out there shucking and jiving and cooning for his GOP compatriots and basically trying to just get the approval of massa. It doesn't fucking make sense that he would have any issue with this month that doesn't just celebrate American history. It celebrates Black history around the world. I took a Black history class in high school.
Okay.
Miss Southern. I know you remember her.
Little homie, yeah.
Yeah. And it talked about Black history from everywhere, Africa, England, uh, in the US, obviously, but in South America. It's not literally just American Blacks. And I think that's the part that he's getting hung up on, because it's technically still celebrating his history. I don't know if you mentioned it, but he's not an American, right?
Yeah, he's of Nigerian descent. I read that.
Right. And so I think like his conceit is that it is just an American holiday. And as you so how do I say, eloquently put it, it is celebrated around the world.
Right.
So it's just something I've always seen with those who aren't African descendants of slaves.
Okay.
They tend to separate themselves from Black Americans.
And that's crazy to me, right? Is because if he were to win, he would be the first Black governor of Michigan, right? And obviously, pretend this is a governor of your state you're living in, right? Whether you're living in Texas, Illinois, whatever. This person represents your state. He doesn't want to be known as that. He just wants to be another American governor. And he actually would implement American History Month versus Black History Month, right? Which in my mind, American History Month is every month of every year.
Yeah.
Right.
It's insanity, man. And like I said, I don't think he's gonna win. Because as you know,
He might. If the Trumpers come out.
The largest city in Michigan is Detroit, which I believe is something like 80+% Black. Now there might be some of those shucking and jiving coons that live there, but I can guarantee most of them have gone through the struggle. Most of them want to see their history continue to be celebrated. Okay. And to be honest with you, my only problem with Black History Month is that it's only a month and it's the shortest month.
Yeah, and then I feel like, especially if you're talking school systems, right? I feel like they don't educate you as in depth as they should about Black history, right? It's been a while since I've been in school, so if anybody out there has been in school more recent and disagrees with that statement, please let me know. But I feel like you don't learn enough. And again, you only have 28 to 29 days where they actually will cram it in your face, and then the other 11 months, it's like what the fuck ever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's the crazy thing, because speaking of that, going to school, I went to NIU, which I think I've told a story about my NIU days on this podcast. But I took a history class that was American history up to 1776.
Okay.
Basically pre-Revolutionary War.
Okay.
And there were not very many Black stories in there. Period. Makes sense. Like the only time there was a mention is during the slave trade.
Right.
Realistically. And even still, it's seeing us as subservient Blacks. Right. 1776 on, there's obviously more history, but it's still not as robust as the European side of the American history, right? Those get celebrated a little more. And so Black History Month is just a way that gives us an opportunity to shine, for lack of a better term.
Right. And it's not like, so something that he said to me, or not to me, but something that I read was just that if we start focusing on a person's gender or race or anything that causes division, we lose our unity as Americans. And then we talked in previous episodes, we're not united as Americans no matter what, right? It's 2021. We still face racism every fucking day.
Right.
Still, right? And even back when Black History Month became a thing, right, we were still dealing with segregated schools. So it's not like we've ever been united when it came to race or gender regardless. So his point of it causing division when we lose focus on someone's race, well, it's always been like that, Austin. We've never not lived in a world where we haven't been divided.
You guys are on a first name basis, I see. Call his ass Austin.
I swear to God, until he tells me I can't do that, then I'm going to call his ass Austin, right? But he said it was also offensive. And I think if you're offended by Black History Month, you're racist.
That might be the truth.
You said might be, right? What in what scenarios would it not be the truth?
I don't know. I actually don't know. you know what? I take it back. It definitely is.
And it saddens me that this is coming from a Black person, right? So I kind of want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
something that's maybe a little deeper
Mm-hmm.
than just this abolishment of the month, allegedly. He actually said that he doesn't see himself as a minority or a Black American or a Black anything or a minority anything, right? He just sees himself as an American. And I think that that's a deeper problem. And what comes to mind when I think of that, bro, maybe I'm reaching here, but I think of Michael Jackson. Okay.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is Michael Jackson clearly didn't want to identify as a Black man, right?
Right.
Everything from changing his skin to white, to getting a white woman nose job, to him wearing a white woman's wig constantly. And Michael Jackson's the king of pop to me and the greatest artist of all time. So don't get
Right.
that twisted, right? But I think that Michael Jackson did not want to identify as a minority or Black American either, but he at least had the balls to change who he was. Where do you think that type of issue stems from?
I feel like you know the answer.
Say it out loud.
It's white supremacy. It's the history of this entire country and everything that we've ever done in our entire life being run by white people. Not just white people, white men.
Okay.
So you always want to be, and I'm gonna take this to a nerdier side. So the Power Rangers movie, they had this. It was their Zords or whatever, right?
Okay. Yeah.
In that movie, and they said that the Zords take on whatever the dominant species is during the time that they landed on the planet.
Okay.
Had they landed any time in the past 200 years in the US of A, those Zords would have been just tall white men. And that's just the fact. That's all it would have been. And that's why people would rather be they want the skin that curries favor. You see it with a lot of people who do skin bleaching.
Right.
Right? It happens in India, which is weird because everyone in India is Indian.
Right.
And yet they still favor the lighter skin. It's that Eurocentric mentality.
So do you think it's the parents' fault?
In Austin's case, I don't think so.
First name basis also, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's the only reason why. I didn't feel like looking up pronunciation videos.
I tried, I couldn't find that shit. But you said in his case you don't think it's the parents' fault.
No, I don't. I think it's just him. I don't know how long he's been here. I think I didn't actually read that.
Okay.
To see how long he's actually been in the USA, but I think that he's seen essentially how this world goes, how everything works, and sees that if you want to get ahead, you curry favor with the white man. If you want to do anything in this world, you curry favor with the white man.
It's very, very it's very Uncle Ruckus like.
Yeah. It's 100% that.
But I hate that for him, right? As a Black man, I hate when people say that I don't identify as Black, right? Why would you not want to identify who you are? You were born in this skin, right? So embrace your heritage, right? But to say you don't see yourself as a minority, well, shit, everybody else does.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No matter how much shucking and jiving you do, when you walk out that door and you don't have massa right next to you, you're going to be Black. You're going to walk out there and you're going to see that you're Black. You're going to go into Walgreens. And if you're in there just a little too long, they're going to follow you. It don't matter how much shucking and jiving you did on the podium.
Right.
They going to follow you. And it's hard. It's hard to reconcile that there are people who just don't see that.
Right. Because we've been told as Black people in our entire history that we're less than, right? So maybe he doesn't want to be seen as less than, but we've been dealing with that shit for a long time. So I don't know. Overall, bro, I think it's a blatant disregard for the history of fucking
of
Black
to bring
people.
it back to the topic. It's insanity, truthfully, to think that an underrepresented group, underrepresented in politics, underrepresented in business, underrepresented in history in general, just the telling of our history, that you think that this month is offensive.
He also said illegal. And what grounds is this illegal? I Googled shit and I didn't find anything.
I don't think you'll ever find it. Like I said, the GOP is rarely educated. And it's insane. They'll talk without having all the information. Trust and believe. They still think that COVID is a hoax. They still think that the election was stolen.
And one thing that Austin's got to remember too, bro, is that even like now, right, recently, Black history is still being shaped, right, every year, right? We just had the first Black president, 13 years ago, right? That's history. We just had the first Black VP a month ago, right? That's Black history. Why are you not wanting younger people to be educated on the significance of that, right? To me, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, he's gonna find out. I don't know if he has any children. Again, I tried to do as little research of this asshole as I possibly could. Right? I don't know if he has any children, but I feel like that message it's in itself that he wants to get rid of the telling of Black history is harmful to his children as well. They're gonna go in school thinking, "Oh, Daddy, my skin's black, but they don't talk about me very much." Well, that's because your asshole of a father doesn't think you deserve to be talked about.
Right, because he doesn't see you as Black or minority. You're just an American to him, right? We're going through this whole Black Lives Matter movement still, right? Because Black Lives Matter, and they're making history with these protests, right? Record-setting protests as far as numbers go, as far as how many days they're protesting for goes, because Black people are still underrepresented in this world to this day. Right. So for anybody on this planet to try to abolish the shit or get rid of it, you can shut the fuck up like right now. Disappear forever. This man is not gonna win shit. Can't promise you, but more than likely he's gonna fucking lose. Right. And it's because he didn't wait until after he got elected to say some dumb shit. He decided to do it before.
Yeah, people of Detroit, please come out in droves. Make sure this guy's not your next mayor. That's all I'm saying.
And whoever's running the marketing campaign for Austin should be fired immediately.
His campaign manager?
Yeah. So yeah, fire his ass immediately, or her, right? Because they probably gave this shit the green light. Yeah, we about to hit him with this shit real quick.
Oh, we about to fuck him up with this one.
Right.
Nah.
Austin, no.
Some of the comments that I saw too were just like hilarious. Somebody posted a picture of Samuel L. Jackson's character in Django. And I thought, yeah, that's pretty apt. That makes sense. That's who he is as a person.
So I thank God he's not running for the governor of Illinois.
Oh, he wouldn't come close.
I don't want that person representing me now. Not that I trust all government figures, right? That's a different conversation for a different day. But I think when you blatantly say some stupid borderline racist shit and you are a part of that race,
right,
then in my mind, you're canceled in that moment. So for those of y'all listening to Michigan, please stay far fuck away from Austin as possible.
And I'm not condoning violence.
Oh, here we go. we don't condone violence at all, bro.
No. But maybe it's on site when you sing. I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Oh shit. I think we'll go ahead and wrap this one up, man, because I don't want to give Austin any more of my energy. Right.
I feel that.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Please give us any feedback on the topics, your thoughts, any comments. We read them all, right? Ratings, reviews. Please share this podcast against Call High Chicago. Thank you guys for your support. We love you all. Aaron, go ahead, wrap us up, kid.
Please make sure to follow us on High Chicago 312 on
what
Twitter.
What the fuck are you doing with your hands?
I was about to do this Black History Month.
Oh,
you're such an assword, man. Like, damn. Anyway, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at High Chicago 312, and be sure to let us know what you think about this topic in the comments. Fuck Austin Chang, or however you pronounce his last name. And until next time,
peace.